how much longer and what else needs to be done in order to satisfy the call of what the San Francisco liberals and the Los Angeles liberals consider as doing something for the poor? I mean, my God, Lyndon Baines Johnson established what is known as the Great Society, and the purpose was to do something for the poor. Do something for the poor. All throughout the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, there's been do something for the poor. I mean, Bill Clinton runs around and gives away billions of dollars in Africa. I mean, billions. U2 and Bono and all that crowd of philanthropists and whoever else that they might want to title themselves running around over in Africa and every place they can find a black face to do something for the poor. What I want to ask is the question is, when in the heck are we going to see the poor doing something for themselves? That's what I want to know. I mean, all right, okay, Jeremiah, right? So we did bomb Nagasaki and Hiroshima, 50, 60 years ago. But my God, the Japanese have turned around and built a great society, and they're selling all y'all black folk Lexuses, Toyotas, and Camrys and everything else. Well, when the black people going to turn around after everything is done for them and do something for somebody else? I mean, all this business is health care, doing something for the poor, doing something for the poor, doing something for the poor. When in the heck are poor people going to turn around and do something for somebody else except wait for people to do something for them for the next 350 years? All right, so you voted in a black president. Was that what you were trying to do? To do something for the poor? So you got the long-legged Mac Daddy now. He's going to get $1.5 million for a prize that he didn't earn, the Nobel Peace Prize. He's going to get $1.3 million for that. When are the poor people, after all of what has been done, all the taxpayer money, all the Great Society, all the Community Reinvestment Act, all of the money dumped into programs like you won't believe, from condoms to baby diapers to peanut butter to pork in a can, when are the poor people going to do something for themselves? I mean, what is going on in this? When are black people going to get sick and tired of always being on the bottom after billions of dollars are poured into their neighborhoods? Okay, so you make them mayors of cities. You even got one now that's allegedly black. That's the president. And you still got to do something for the poor people, Poor people. Well, we got to be the poor people. We got to do something for the poor people. And half of the poor that you're talking about doing something are grown men laying up in the bed till 11 or 12 o'clock in the day on drugs, on SSI. You call that poor? I don't call that poor. These men are just scared to go to jail because their brothers have gone to jail. What is this? We got to do something for the poor. So we need this health care reform bill because we got to do something for poor people. I've never seen anything as foolish as this in all my life. When are the poor people going to ever stand up and do something for themselves? They don't ever have to do anything for everybody else that's been doing something for them for the last 50 years. When poor people going to just turn around and do something for them, when they're going to turn around and wipe their own behinds? For once in our lifetime, can we ever see poor people stand up and wipe their own behinds for once? Well, we've been discriminated against. Will you shut up? They had us here slaves, They brought us from Africa. My God! You say that one more time, I'm going to choke you. One more time. If I hear that one more time out of you, I'm going to choke your tongue out your mouth. Well, let me repent for that. Lord, forgive me for saying I'm going to choke somebody, because I'm not really going to do it. I'm just tired. I'm sick and tired. And listen, I live in Harlem, and I say that all this doing something for the poor haven't helped the poor at all. All it has done, it has furthered the careers of people like Jackson, Sharpton, Obama, and a whole lot of others has furthered their careers, but they haven't done anything for poor people. They're just as stupid, dumb, poor, sick, worthless, drug-addicted, crime-riddled, hate-minded as they've ever been. Got to do something for the poor people. Got to do something for the poor people. We as Americans, we got to do something for the poor. Lord have mercy. This is really sickening, you know. I mean, it's about as sickening as you can get. When are poor people going to ever stand up and do something for themselves? When? You tell me. How much longer do we have to wait? And the more you give them, the worse they become. The more you give these so-called poor, namely code language for black people, the more you give them, the worse they become. I guarantee you, roll the clock back 60 years, cut the welfare system, and cut all this other entitlement, and watch the black community stand up and start building schools and churches and banks, and men staying at home raising their children. Roll the clock back 70 years, good God Almighty, and you'll watch a great black society. Even in the midst of Jim Crow and the Ku Klux Klan, black people were then stellar family people, building their own communities, servicing their own communities, building banks right next to white-only water fountains 70 years ago. But once we started giving and helping the poor, got to help the poor people now. Well, we need affirmative action, you know, because the poor and the black people, we got to level the playing field. Good God Almighty. I got your playing field all right. It's been 70 years, 50 years non-stop of giving to the poor, and they still poor. Hey, when y'all gonna wake up out there? You're throwing your money down a rat hole. You call it the poor hole. You're throwing your money down a rat hole fooling with these black people. You're throwing your money down a rat hole. Haven't you noticed they're not getting better? They're going to jail, making more babies, killing one another in Chicago, killing one another in Detroit. Haven't you noticed they're not getting better? You put them on television, they get worse. And their leaders are getting fatter, money-wise. Jackson and Sharpton got to do something for the poor. I've never seen anything as ridiculous as this health care bill program. I mean, God-fearing Americans ought to march on Washington and then surround the Capitol building and say, we're not letting none of y'all out here till you scrap this health care bill and get the deal. Hey, I tell you what we really need to do. We need to send all these poor people, well, no, we need to send 60,000 troops to Afghanistan. That's what y'all need to be talking about up there on Capitol Hill. Because these Muslims want to kill us over here. I've never seen anything like this in my life. I mean, what's wrong with y'all Americans out there? Why y'all still going for this okie doke that you got to give money, you got to keep giving your hard-earned money to some poor drug addict in Harlem or in Detroit or in South Central Los Angeles? What's up with that? Why do you think, why are you letting Jackson and Sharpton and Obama, Maxine Waters, Sheila Jackson Lee, John Conyers, Charles Rangel, and a host of other lying black lips tell you that you got to take your hard-earned money and support a man who makes 4 or 5 women pregnant, and now you got to support his babies? I'm talking about you out there in Indiana. Hey, you out there in Elkhart, Indiana. Why you got to take care of black man's baby in Harlem? What's up with that? What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all keep letting this? Are y'all so guilt-ridden about slavery that every time the black person cries, your pocketbook and billfold dries? Every time a black man cries, I need help, you have to pay for it. Even when he robs his own brother right in his own neighborhood, you still got to pay for his lawyer. You got to pay for his prison. You have to, no matter what that black man does, no matter what the so-called Poe does, you got to pay for it. It's time this foolishness stopped in America. It stopped. It doesn't have to be this way. This is adverse to God. God never created anybody to live the way black people live. This has got to stop. God is sick of it. If y'all aren't sick of paying for it, God is sick of it. He's sick of this. No man on earth should ever live the way black people live, with their crazy selves. Always crying discrimination, always crying slavery, always talking about the white man. God didn't create us to live in this mess. It needs to stop, and it needs to stop now.